morning. Welcome to day 27 at Quantum's Liberty. Hello, buddies. Here's some water. Hope this day's finding you well. We are doing the 16-week countdown series for DeStress and Immune Boost. Hello, buddies. Today on the phone with me, I have Mark, who is 16, and his dad is one of the detectives over at the Capitol. And so they've been talking a bit about some of the things going on over there, and what we can do today is tapping on the overwhelm from the news and envisioning radiant health. So today, Mark was saying that, let's start tapping. Mark was saying that his dad has been involved in a lot of the discovery work and figuring out how and why people were trying to get into the Capitol. And it looks like the most important piece of information that his dad was coming up with that was pretty consistent across everybody's accounts so far seems to be that they were led by the president to do that. Like, that's what we have to do. So our leaders are very, very powerful, and they can, according to research, I'll have to post that research. I read it, I think, last week. And that was just that people tend to, if the policymaker says that something is the right thing to do, then they tend to trust that. So one thing that people did not, and they need to realize, it's a very, very, very powerful piece of information, is that although the president and Mike Pence on the coronavirus task force had say that the coronavirus isn't real, we do know, I'm a critical care nurse, so friends are actually working in the ICUs, and if I didn't have that background, I might think, well, everything looks okay. I don't understand what's the big deal. And although the President Trump has, for the next 4 days, has said that, he went into the hospital with coronavirus, and maybe he didn't see, some reason he doesn't see. We now hit 400,000 deaths, so we do know that it is true. But so the majority of the people were led with an idea that the coronavirus is not a real thing, when in fact it is. So Mark, the tapping will be to lower your cortisol levels and raise your immune system while you're listening to the news. So anytime you want to lower your cortisol levels, if you tap in a group of people, research recently has, and I think that's from Peta Stavanger from New Zealand or Australia, one of those land down unders. She is another recent leading research technician who does recent science on that. And so her research actually showed that if you tap with a group of people, and I guess that could be 4 or 5 people tapping on the same thing, then you can actually lower your cortisol levels. Instead of like 1 week of 10-minute tapping and meditation, then that lowers your cortisol levels 37%. But Pena found that if you do a group of people and you do the tapping, that your cortisol levels will actually lower the same day by 37%. So that's pretty cool research. And the other research also, keep on tapping. And the other thing you can do is gently lower your tongue down on the bottom of your mouth. That that stimulates the vagus nerve, and that also is a very, very relaxing technique to lower your stress hormone. So the other thing that tapping does is it raises your immunoglobulin levels 113% in 1 week of tapping and meditation. And this will raise the, in particular, the IgAs of the respiratory tract, where a majority of the symptoms from COVID-19 and the B117 are coming from. So today we'll do the tapping on envisioning radiant health, and in addition to tapping on hearing the news. So let's stop tapping for a moment and rest your tongue on the bottom of your mouth. Just drop it down on the bottom of your mouth so it's gently lowered onto the floor of your mouth, and close your eyes and tune in and envision yourself in radiant, beautiful health. Absolutely healthy, running, biking, surfing if you surf, and with your friends, and envision that radiant health. Now relax, relax, relax that tongue on the bottom of your mouth, and take 3 deep breaths in through your nose with the tongue nice and relaxed on the bottom of your mouth, and out through your mouth, and the tongue's completely relaxed. Inhale. Exhale. Tongue dropped. Inhale. Tongue dropped. And exhale. Now repeat after me. Even though there's all this stress from the news, and it makes me worried about my family, I deeply and completely love and accept myself exactly as I am. Even though I'm really worried about all this stress at the Capitol and the possibility that my family will be in danger, I deeply and completely love myself and accept all these feelings exactly as I am. Even though I have this ginormous stress inside of my body from hearing about the news, and my family is there to help, I accept myself with all these feelings inside of me exactly as I am. Inside the eye, these feelings of anxiety. Outside the eye, these feelings of stress. Under the eye, I want to run from them. Under the nose, they are so scary. Chin point, I'm very, very worried. Collarbone point, I'm looking at this fear inside me. Under the arm, this fear really has me going. Top of the head, it makes me so nervous for my family. Inside the eye, not only that my dad is in danger. Outside the eye, because he's a detective. Under the eye, but people are running around without masks. under the nose, because they don't believe in coronavirus. Chin, although there's a surge on the way. Collarbone point. On top of the surge, under the arm, according to the CDC, top of the head, and also Dr. Wen, inside the eye, at George Washington University, outside the eye, Public Health Department, under the eye. It makes me feel helpless. Under the nose. I can look at those feelings. Chin. They're inside of me. Collarbone point. And I want to run from them. Under the arm. But I'm going to stay right here, top of the head, and I'm going to have my own back inside the eye, so I don't feel so helpless. Outside the eye, I do the tapping under the eye because research shows under the nose that tapping on these 5,000-year-old endpoints, chin, 5,000-year-old acupuncture endpoints, collarbone, tapping on these points under the arm changes my neurochemistry. Top of the head, in 1 week of tapping meditation. Inside the eye. So even though these things are happening outside the eye, my stress hormones go down. Under the eye. And then I can think under the nose, much more clearly, chin point, about the next best thing to do. Collarbone point. I see myself in radiant health. Under the arm, my neurochemistry is shifting. Top of the head, according to science. Inside the eye, I walk in radiant health. Outside the eye, I talk with radiant health. Under the eye, I perceive in radiant health. Under the nose, I have a burst of hormones and neurochemistry. Chin, flooding my brain and body. Collarbone with the tapping. Under the arm. Not only do I feel better, top of the head, but I am more relaxed and improved immune system right now in mind, body, and spirit. Thank you so much, Mark, for visiting and for telling us your story. It was really important to hear all of these different perspectives of ways that people are involved in this crisis right now. it ought to work itself out, because once everybody sees the fact that the coronavirus really does exist, then that will prove that what the president and Mike Pence said, that it doesn't exist, that will prove that it's wrong. So all the best to you and your family. Keep on tapping.